Tonight on News 5 Live, COVID nurse pleads for her life during a four-man home invasion in Belize City. Fashions inspired by Mayan tradition makes virtual debut. And why is the water in Seine Bight brown? And does it pose a public health risk? Details of these stories and more coming up in tonight's newscast.
It's a fact that with Smart, you get truly unlimited everything. Only with Smart, you get unlimited data anytime, while with the other guy, it's only double data on weekends. With unlimited data every day with Smart, there's no need to wait. So, it's a fact that our unlimited plans beat the competition. Stop being measured and told when to use your data and get unlimited talk, text, and data. Experience the true unlimited plans with Smart. That's a fact. Make the switch and live smart.
Have you tried the Atlantic Insurance app yet? If not, you are literally missing out. When you request a renewal on your motor insurance policy through our AIC app, you automatically get an additional 10% off. When you use our app to request a renewal of your property insurance, you get a special discount. For new customers, the savings get even bigger. Request a quotation using our app, and upon acceptance of the business, you qualify for up to 30% on motor insurance. And of course, special discount applies for property insurance. Download and use our AIC mobile app today and save. Atlantic Insurance, insuring you from life's unexpected.
Buying a car should be a great experience, and St. John's Credit Union wants to make it even better. But we offer more than just great low rates. We make the application process easy and make sure our members get the best service possible. At St. John's Credit Union, we offer excellent products backed by exceptional service. So the next time you are buying a new or used vehicle, take advantage of St. John's Credit Union's Drive Forward Auto Loan product. We'll put the buying power in your hands. Come and drive forward with our auto loans with rates as low as 9% and low or no down payments. Drive forward with St. John's Credit Union. Some restrictions apply.
Good evening and welcome to News 5 Live for Tuesday, October 12th. I am Sabrina Daly. There's a cautionary tale to share with our viewers tonight, and it has to do with keeping large sums of money at home. Just before daybreak in Belize City, 4 armed men forcibly entered the premises of 2 well-known health practitioners in West Landiver and held them at gunpoint. The pair was bound with duct tape before the intruders proceeded to ransack the property. While they were there for money and other valuables, the thieves did not anticipate that they would net a sizable haul from the night's plunder. Tonight, Nurse Melinda Guerra, the Regional Health Manager for Central Health Region, and Dr. Maria Reyes are lucky to have survived the harrowing ordeal. We begin our newscast with a chilling story that has become all too familiar. News 5's Isani Cayetano reports.
I kept pleading to them, telling them, I'm a nurse working with the COVID patients, but one was really insisting, And eventually one of them said to me, Mom, I promise you that, I asked him, please don't kill us. And then he said to me, you know what, I give you my word that I will not.
Identifying herself as a regional health manager dealing with COVID-19 victims is perhaps what saved the lives of Melinda Guerra and Dr. Maria Reyes. They are both victims of a pre-dawn attack during which 4 armed thieves entered their residence on Chancellor Avenue.
Early this morning at around 3:46, I heard a noise, like a squeaky sound, but nothing alarming. So I put on the lights for the house, and then I went back to my bed. Then I heard a second sound, Then I heard a third sound, but then I said probably it's just my nerves. So I just, never paid no mind, and I went to sleep.
What Nurse Guerra heard were sounds coming from the rear of her property as the quartet pried open the burglar bars on a window on the lower flat. Thinking nothing of it, she dismissed the noise, only to find out later that the men had gained entry.
It was about 4:45 when I heard Dr. Reyes, shouting, and I came out and then I saw these officers camouflage clothes and black clothes. So they have like BDF clothes and the black clothes, so with hats, and they have their faces covered, masks, they have gloves. So, but initially I thought it was the police, but then right away I clicked and I said, no, these are thieves.
Dr. Reyes, who occupies another flat, is recovering from a recent stroke. According to Guerra, she pleaded with the men not to harm either of them. That's when they shifted attention to their primary objective.
That's when the ordeal started, that they said, okay, well, they want money. So I told them, we don't have any money in the house. We don't have. At that time, I never realized, that, well, they were searching. It's four of them, four guys, tall guys, 3 tall guys and 1 short one. And then afterwards, then I remember, probably we have Dr. have a little box, a cash pan. I said, the only thing we have is a cash pan, so they asked me, so I went and I got it for them, and I gave it to them.
Inside the cash box was a substantial sum in US currency, money that would have been used for a retirement trip to the Holy City. Under duress, Guerra surrendered the safe, along with various pieces of jewelry that were stored in her bedroom. If that wasn't bad enough, the men then stole a piggy bank stuffed with $1 coins for good measure, before making off in Dr. Reyes' late model Toyota Hilux. There was a substantial amount of money taken during this aggravated burglary. Do you believe that they had first-hand knowledge that money in large quantities were here?
That's a hard question, because really we don't get strangers don't really come to the house. I just think that probably they saw the house and we were just targeted, that's what I think. Because when they were searching and searching and they couldn't find anything.
Police have been on the scene since morning as an investigation is underway. For now, there is no word on the whereabouts of the stolen vehicle. Reporting for News 5, I am Seine Bight.
On Monday evening, a traffic accident between miles 27 and 28 on the Philip Golson Highway resulted in the death of a man from Biscayne. Police report their initial investigation reveals Evelio Alvarez was traveling on the Philip Golson Highway from the direction of Orange Walk towards Sandhill when he encountered Mark Anthony Faber, who was on a bicycle. Faber allegedly ran into the front of his pickup and was injured. Alvarez told police he swerved to the left to avoid hitting the cyclist, but to no avail. Faber was transported to the KHMH, where he succumbed to his injuries while undergoing treatment. The office of the Prime Minister is still awaiting a response from the Leader of the Opposition, Patrick Faber, on 4 proposed justices of the Supreme Court. The Prime Minister's office had written to the Leader of the Opposition on September 29th, informing of its intention to appoint, upon consultation with the opposition, Ricardo Sancroft and Susan Lamb to the Criminal Division of the Court, and Patricia Farnese and Genevieve Shabat to the Civil Division. All appointments are with effect from September 20th, 2020, except for that of Ms. Shabat, which takes effect on January 17th, 2021. By law, the Prime Minister must consult with the Leader of the Opposition on such appointments. However, Cabinet Secretary Stuart Leslie told News 5 today that while the Office of the Prime Minister is in contact with the Leader of the Opposition, they are waiting for a response from him. Our efforts to reach Chairman of the UDP, Michael Perifete, and Patrick Faber for comment have been unsuccessful. Sancroft has served as judge at the Eastern Caribbean Supreme Court in St. Lucia. Lamb has served in senior positions for the Commission for International Criminal Justice and Accountability, among others. Farnese is an associate professor of of law at the University of Saskatchewan in Alberta, Canada, and Shabbat has served as the Federal Judicial Advisory Committee for Yukon, Canada. Coming up, the CEO says the Port of Belize already has 3 cruise lines interested. Details when we return.
Hello, friends. This is Dr. Bob Roberts with another 60-second sermon from God's Word.
The Bible says, "They that sow in tears shall reap in joy. He that goeth forth and weepeth, bearing precious seed, shall doubtless come again with rejoicing, bringing his sheaves with him." Dr. G. Campbell Morgan tells the story of a man whose shop had been burned in the Great Chicago Fire. He arrived at the ruins the next morning carrying a table. He set it up amid the charred debris and above it placed this optimistic sign, "Everything lost except wife and children and hope. Business will be resumed as usual tomorrow morning." This man realized that success does not come easy and that sometimes it comes with tears and disappointments and determination and plain hard work. The Bible says lazy people won't get much out of life, but those who work hard will prosper. Theodore Roosevelt said, "It is not the critic who counts, nor the man who points how the strong man stumbled or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who knows the great enthusiasms, the great devotions, and spends himself in a worthy cause, who at best knows the triumph of high achievement, and who at the worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who know neither victory nor defeat. So remember, weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning."
Today's 60-second sermon has been presented by Christian Foundations of Faith in cooperation with the Baptist churches in your area.
So I'm going to wonder if by chance I could get your number. Digit. Nice.
Of course, you have digital, right?
Yeah, of course.
The truth is, your credit lasts way longer with Digi. Like if you top up with like $30, that could last you 90 days. With the other guys, that must save 60. Then with the other guys, you have to use all of your good prime credit before you even touch your bonus credit. But with Digi, you could use your bonus credit before you even touch your prime credit. Like, what are the point to have free credit if you can't use it how you want? So, what are your number?
Just give me one moment.
The truth is, only Digi offers nationwide LTE coverage, fastest mobile data speeds, and the best call quality.
Hello, welcome to Samsung's awesome experience right here in Belize. Come check it out. Not sure which Samsung Galaxy A series is right for you? Touch, play, and learn about your device before you buy. Once you've purchased your device, you can now benefit from the full Samsung service experience. Your phone is covered by a 1-year local warranty. This includes manufacturer defects and software and hardware issues caused by the manufacturer. Enjoy your phone with peace of mind knowing that your Galaxy is protected. And when your warranty expires, you can still bring it to our certified Samsung Repair Center. Our technicians will diagnose and repair your device with Samsung original parts and machinery. Enjoy the Samsung experience when you shop at any of our authorized partners countrywide, including Cellular World, Digi, Odette's Home Center, Debari, Quartz, Shopee, Gadgets, and Cellular Plus. Join the Samsung experience in Belize today.
Imagine going through your entire day without the burden and risk of carrying cash on you. Belize's shift to digital wallets has begun with E-Kyash. We can now skip the cash when collecting money or paying for our essentials, all while using a fast, easy, and secure platform. Simply add funds to your wallet via bank transfer or at an agent, and you're good to go. You will be able to make quick, easy payments simply by scanning QR codes. And best of all, it all happens just like that. Payments are as easy as clicking a link online or scanning a QR code. Download the E-Kyash app from the Google Play and Apple App Store today and take your first step into a cashless lifestyle. The future is here with E-Kyash. For more information, visit www.e-kyash.com or contact us via WhatsApp at 613-0257 to find out more.
We recently reported on the public consultation that was held by the developers of the Port of Belize expansion project. The Department of the Environment also participated. One of the main takeaways was that the developers have decided to abandon their initial plan to dump some 7 million cubic meters of silt into the ocean after dredging. It was announced that the waste will now be dumped on property belonging to the port. This morning, CEO at the Port of Belize further elaborated on the plan, noting the added benefit of this approach during an appearance on Open Your Eyes.
People have come out in the public and they've said that Waterloo wants to dump silt on the reef. And of course, that was never, ever anybody's intention. We understand the ecological significance of the reef, the second largest reef in the world, and the value that that brings to Belize, and absolutely we do not want to do anything which disturbs that. Our original plan was to place the waste at sea 15 miles away from the reef. That was not approved. What we're doing here, this is a significant program. We're removing 7 million, maybe 7.5, but not more than 7.5 million cubic meters of material. We're removing it from an existing channel, which has been dredged previously in 2001. It is virgin material. It's never been touched by mankind. Does it contain small traces of things which are harmful? Yes, it does, but not to any degree of concentration that would make it, people call it toxic. It's not toxic. Would I advise you to eat it for your breakfast and lunch? Well, probably not. It's probably not going to be very tasty. What we will then do is that 3.5 million cubic meters will be used for essentially building the new facility. The balance, we're going to near shore it. So that will be placed in the bay to the immediate west of the port. And essentially it will be left 1 meter under the surface of the water. And what this also does is that it builds up more protection against storm surge for the south and the western side of Belize City.
Dredging over 7 million cubic meters of silt is the largest aspect of the Port of Belize's expansion undertaking. It is also the most costly part of the venture. CEO Lane explains why developing a multi-purpose port makes sense from a business standpoint when taking into account the investment being made.
It's a multi-purpose port. So we have a cargo function, we have a tourism passenger function. The big expense, and it's the same the world over, the big expense that we have here is the dredging. So in order for the business case to be making any sense whatsoever, we need to pay that investment back through a combination of revenues gained from cargo and cruise. Neither one of those two activities in itself can justify the dredging that we need to do. So our approach channel today is 10 meters deep. We have 8.2 meters in the turning basin and alongside. We're taking that down to 12 meters, and that's where the 7.5 million or 7 million cubic meters of dredge material comes from. And that's just the way that it is. So people are saying, why don't you just do the cargo? Why don't you just do the cruise? And the answer to that is that if it's one or the other, then it's not a viable project and it's not going to happen. Currently today we handle around about 100,000 tons a year of bulk cargo. We believe that our new facility will have the ability and capacity to handle 600,000 tons or more.
As it relates to the competitiveness of the Port of Belize's proposed cruise port, in comparison to the cruise ports currently being developed in Belize, CEO Lane says Port of Belize has an advantage. That advantage is a letter of intent from the 3 largest cruise lines, according to CEO Lane. Here's how he puts it.
We have the letters of intent from 3, if I remember rightly, of the largest cruise lines, and they're pledging passenger numbers if we can build this facility. And as we saw last week, and it was openly admitted by State Bank Enterprises, they don't have these, and they won't have them either, because that's not what the industry requires. And Port Magical also doesn't seem to have the same support. And you know, Port Magical is a very similar setup to the setup that we're looking for. But again, if you look at it from an environmental perspective, and yes, their environmental case has been approved, but what we're doing is that we are redeveloping a brownfield site and they are developing a greenfield site. And
what does that mean?
Well, a greenfield site means that nothing exists and you build it from scratch. Whereas a brownfield site means that you already have the nucleus of what you need, and then you're just improving what already exists. And of course, logically speaking, a brownfield development will always be more ecologically friendly than a greenfield development.
After the break, the controversy over the Causeway continues. But first, here's a look at the latest COVID-19 figures.
The continued fight against COVID-19 requires the continued practice of public health measures across all sectors and in every community. Frequent and proper hand washing, wearing face masks, and physical distancing. Do you know who is not physical distancing? The Aedes aegypti mosquito. Did you know that dengue is the most common mosquito-borne viral disease in the world? So let's get to work. Use window and door screens to keep mosquitoes out. Change the water in vases and scrub inside surfaces to remove mosquito eggs. Avoid using saucers with potted plants to prevent collection of water. Securely cover water barrels and drums with mosquito netting and properly fitted covers. Scrub the inside walls of water barrels and drums with detergent 1 to 2 times per week. Walk around the outside of your home and remove or overturn containers that can collect water and become breeding sites. Mosquitoes only need a small amount of water to lay their eggs. Remove unwanted cans, bottles, buckets, or used tires. Other items still in use must be properly stored in covered areas to avoid water settling in them. Clean roof gutters and air conditioner trays. Debushing and removing tall grass from around your home or establishment is also key to reducing mosquito populations. Fight the bite and protect yourself and your family too from mosquito-borne diseases.
If you have a baby on the way, here is what you need to know about maternity benefit. It includes both an allowance for 14 weeks and a grant, which is a lump sum of $300. The basic requirements are: you must be employed, you must have at least 50 paid contributions, and you must have continuous contributions leading up to delivery. To apply, a licensed doctor certifies the expected date of delivery. The employer completes the salaries record. Submit your completed claim form as soon as possible. After giving birth, submit your continuation claim no later than 3 weeks after delivery. If the mother does not qualify, the father of the child may qualify for the maternity grant. Want to know more about maternity benefit or grant?
Visit our website or contact any of our offices to have someone assist you. Also, be sure to visit our Facebook page and give us a like to stay informed. Social Security Board, safeguarding you, your family, your future.
We have been a partner with Smart for over 10 plus years. We have a full Smart plan we use as our major driver for our business. We have a service that rolls over in that if you call one and it is busy, it rolls over to the next line. So once you call us, you can get us at any time. Before we got this Smart service, we were paying upwards of nearly $2,000 in phone bills. Since we've had our Smart service, we pay an average of about $600. So we've had tremendous saving, more than 50%. For the businesses, if you want to save money, switch to Smart because it is far more cost effective and the service is excellent.
Smart continues to be innovative in bringing new technology and meaningful savings during these challenging times to businesses across Belize. Sign up for our VoIP technology or broadband packages and save more.
Nestle. Start healthy, stay healthy.
Environmental clearance is one of the first steps that must be done for any proposed development in Belize. The National Environmental Appraisal Committee is responsible for giving that green light. This then allows for requisite permits, approvals, and licenses to be issued. Today, Chief Environmental Officer Martin Alegria held a virtual press conference in wake of the pushback from the environmental community over concerns about a causeway that was approved for the multi-million-dollar Stake Bank cruise port development just off the coast of Belize City. But as we found out from Alegria today, the environmental compliance plan was approved years ago and remains effective.
The Department of the Environment's files. What happens when
it's not a secret document?
No.
You have
to begin with, this is the 2019, I think you can see here. This is the document, the environmental clearance with letter, no? Which usually accompanies the actual environmental compliance plan, which is usually signed at the end of the day by the investors. So the ECPs are usually here at the Department of the Environment within each project file. What I could tell you is that the procedure has always been, the ECPs are usually signed by the Chief Environmental Officer, whoever he or she is at the Department of the Environment. That's as per the EPA and the EIA regs.
So you signed that 2019?
I signed all ECPs. Many of them during the course of a year. So it is signed based on the NIAC's recommendation and any other input that would come from the general public, such as when public consultations are held, or other issues of, for example, of specific interest from an agency that is discussed and agreed to at the NIAC and put into the ECP.
According to Alegria, a public consultation was held and taken into consideration for the causeway. He speaks to the concerns and what was agreed to.
We refer to one as the Stake Bank project and the other one as North Jonski project. Back in 2006, both projects were treated separately, and so each one did an EIA. I think the North Jonski was called Ocean View Grant, the company, and Stake Bank was called Stake Bank Enterprise. The Stake Bank EIA was done by, I think it was Mr. Garcia, and the North Jonski was done by the late Tom Grimshaw, I think. So there was public consultations for both of those. There was a lot of discussions and for and against. And one of the issues that were always out there with those projects was the causeway, or the causeways, because each project had a causeway. Each EIA had a causeway being proposed. And so that discussion was held in 2006, 2007, where the NIAC, at the end of the day, when they reviewed all the meaningful inputs from the general public from an environmental perspective, from an environmental perspective, they agreed that a causeway can be approved and permitted, and hence, in 2007, the ECP for North Johnski included the causeway. The ECP for State Bank did not, but it's not because NIAC didn't approve it. It was because there were complications that the investor and the NGO community had with the Swallows Key. So they needed to address that before anything can be officialized or improved. You get me? Right. So that discussion between the investor and the Swallows Key management or board of directors, that took longer. And there were differences, I guess, that by the time the chief was ready to sign the ECP, it was too late to include it because things were not resolved as the way or the precondition upon which NIAC had granted it to go ahead. And that was to take Swallows Key into consideration and manage or work with them so that you have some type of amicable solution. But the causeway itself was an issue that was discussed, debated, and of course was contentious, but then the NIAC approved the clearance of those causeways.
Chief Environmental Officer Martin Alegria gave his professional advice on the causeway and spoke of what was agreed to in order for the ECP to be approved. He says that from an environmental mitigation perspective, he believes the potential negative impact of causeways was the same for both projects at North Drowned Key and State Bank. Alegria goes into details of what was agreed to several years ago.
What will be the impact of that causeway on the marine environment? So we said the first thing that needs to be done, and is in the ECP, is a geotechnical study of the road to make sure that not tomorrow it falls and who then has to pick up the slack? We, the government of Belize. You know? So we said no, they have to do that. And once that is checked by Ministry of Works, who are the engineers, and it is okay, then the other issue of concern would be the height, how navigation and height of the causeway. It was then discussed in the NIAC that the height of that cannot be less than 10 feet. That allows another things to pass through easily. So it was demanded from the designers that if we do grant clearance, it will be 11 feet, I think it is at the end of the day, based on information that was fed to us and other discussions we had. But not only that, there was this issue of bigger ships to traverse north to south, east to west. And so the decision was made and approved and accepted by the developer that somewhere in the middle of that causeway, the first or the second, there will be a portion that has to go high up in the air, 35, I think it was 40 feet at the end of the day that we demanded, because the navigational channels and lanes cannot be disrupted. So 11 feet and 40 feet were the two measurements that were used for the discussions of approving a causeway or not. Another one was the original design. If I recall, the original didn't have pedestrian or something for us to walk. It was more traffic. And so I think it was asked and it was accepted that the pedestrian section, a little section on one of the sides, be put there for social purposes, no? For Belizeans to be able to go there, exercise, ride their bicycles, or go on fishing right off the pier.
The Pan American Health Organization, World Health Organization, continues to support the Carl Huchner Memorial Hospital with the latest donation of IT equipment and office supplies for its surveillance activities as part of ensuring COVID-19 vaccine safety. PAHO WHO says in January, they conducted a regional survey to evaluate the capacities of potential hospitals for vaccine against COVID-19. Based on the response submitted by the KHMH, the hospital was selected as part of the Sentinel Hospital for the surveillance and adverse event following immunization for COVID-19 vaccines. With the IT equipment, KHMH will be able to set up a situation room to conduct proper vaccine safety surveillance in Belize, in collaboration with the Ministry of Health and Wellness. Just ahead, ugly water being spit into the sea in Seine Bight. But is it pollution? Find out what the village chairman and the Department of the Environment have to say when we return. But first, here's a weather update with data from the Belize Met Service.
Why should we get a COVID-19 vaccine? First, to protect our health. Vaccines are safe and effective at preventing severe disease and death from COVID-19. Also, the impact of vaccines on the transmission of the virus is being studied. Meanwhile, we already have powerful reasons to get vaccinated for our own good and for the good of others. Second, we should get vaccinated for our community's health. Our health systems are overwhelmed treating COVID-19 cases. By getting vaccinated, fewer of us will need medical care or hospitalizations from this disease. This promotes the health of our communities by allowing other healthcare issues that are being postponed to be addressed, such as care for chronic diseases. Third, we should get vaccinated for our community's well-being. COVID-19 has also caused poverty and unemployment, and has generated an economic and social crisis. Vaccines will allow us to reactivate our economies gradually and to go back to the social interactions that we miss so much. The more people are vaccinated, the sooner we will be able to safely carry out the activities we had to drastically limit and that are key to the well-being of our communities. Some achievements will only be possible if we all cooperate. Health emergencies test our ability to help one another and act for the health and well-being of our communities. We all have the moral duty to get vaccinated against COVID-19 as soon as it is available to us and to follow public health measures to end the pandemic soon. The fight against COVID-19 depends on everyone.
Es un hecho. Únicamente con Smart obtienes todo realmente ilimitado. Solo con Smart obtienes datos ilimitados en cualquier momento. Mientras que con el otro proveedor solo son datos dobles los fines de semana. Con datos ilimitados todos los días no hay necesidad de esperar, así que es un hecho que nuestros planes ilimitados superan a la competencia. Por lo tanto, no permita que le digan cómo y cuándo usar sus datos y obtenga llamadas, mensajes de texto y datos ilimitados. Vive la verdadera experiencia de planes ilimitados con Smart. Es un hecho. Haga el cambio y viva Smart.
As one of the largest cable and internet providers in Belize, CBC strives to provide our customers with the highest standards of quality, value, and service in all aspects of cable TV and internet. Monitoring our systems closely, our technicians combine creative planning and state-of-the-art technology with years of experience and training to develop and provide the most reliable and advanced cable and internet service to exceed your expectations. For CBC and our team of talented engineers, technicians, and customer service representatives, delivering less than the very best is never an option.
Hey son, how was your first day at sixth form?
Really cool. It was great to see my friends, and I really love my teachers.
I'm so happy to hear that. I'm sorry I wasn't there for your first day, but I'll be back from Causeway next week.
It's okay, Dad. I can't wait to see you. Oh, and please remember, I still have some books I need to purchase.
Ah, yes. Let me E-Kyash you that right now. Money has been sent. I add a little extra cash just for you.
Whoa, Dad. Thanks. Got it.
You're welcome, sir.
Download the E-Kyash app today and take your first step into a cashless lifestyle. For more information, visit www.e-kyash.com or contact us via WhatsApp at 613-0257. E-Kyash, the future is here.
A video circulating on social media shows brown water being pumped off a beach and into the sea in Seine Bight village. The resident who posted the video is heard voicing her concerns about it being dumped in an area where children are swimming. News 5 spoke to the chairman of the village, Jose Ailman, who told us that after the video surfaced, he did his own investigation. He says the developers of the proposed gas station in the community have been digging in the area to continue construction work. Due to the height of the water table, excess water is being drained back into the sea. But he insists it is nothing to worry about.
It would be only fair to say that the water that is flowing into the sea, one, it is not contaminated. Two, it is not wastewater. It is what we would refer to as groundwater in its natural state. If you would dig in your backyard 3 to 4 feet, you would first meet the water table. Of course, in Seine Bight, we have porous soil. As water flows into the earth, this water is being filtered through the sun, of course. If you would take this same water and you would put it in a glass, you would see that the sediments and the residue would go at the bottom, and the water would turn much clearer. But due to the color of soil and the type of soil we have in Seine Bight, which is black of course, the color of this water would either be brownish or blackish. This land has never been known to be a farmland. So of course, no insecticide nor pesticide is being used there any at all. As it relates to other fluids that would be toxic to the environment, those are not used as well. However, if you're going to construct any building and the water table is high, then you would need to seep out the water first before you could continue your work. And that is the process that has been done there, and the water that has been sent to the sea has no toxics in it, and it is not dangerous to the environment. A geotechnical report was done, and a water quality test, I assume, was done as well by the developers, and by no means the water is harmful to the environment.
When we spoke to Chief Environmental Officer Martin Alegria this evening, he informed us that DOE is looking into the matter.
I saw it yesterday, I think it was published, and I asked my staff to please, let's see what is I don't know if it is. I mean, if it is something that is coming from the investment or the development or construction, we'll have to deal with it. We have received similar ones on other situations. For example, another gas station in Belmopan, we received a video that was published. We looked into it and we're resolving the issue as we speak right now, and we try to address those issues as quickly as possible.
We also asked Chairman Ailman if the Village Council has a position on the proposed gas station development. As we reported, representatives of two groups, the Garifuna Nation and the National Garifuna Council, are calling for the government of Belize to have developers of the gas station halt its operations. Those opposing claim that the site identified is considered Garifuna sacred land. On the other hand, area representative for Stand Creek West, Rodwell Ferguson, asserts that a survey was conducted in the community, which concluded that the majority of the community is in support of the development. Here's what Chairman Ailman told us.
Those controversies were looked at. Different agencies were invited to the community. Explanations were given. Clarifications were given. There was a halt on the project. A survey was done. The people have spoken. DOE has given its green light. The project is ongoing. We are now hoping to reap the benefits of what this project will bring to Seine Bight.
So the Village Council categorically supports the development.
The people support the development based on the survey.
Chief Environmental Officer Martin Alegria also commented on the proposed gas station development. According to Alegria, DOE conducted site visits along with the fire department, and at the end of the process, the developers satisfied them that all requirements for the building of a gas station were being met.
For example, generally speaking, Mr. Vasquez again wants to open a gas station, but he has one lot in Kings Park, for example. But his lot, when we go there with fire and see that it doesn't meet, let's say the 100 feet minimum from the storage of the fuel, the tanks, and the nearest residence, well, that's it. But we would also advise him, if you buy your neighbor's yard which is empty, then you could perhaps go towards meeting that guideline, that distance, minimum distance. Secondly, if you buy the neighbor's yard, Mr. Vasquez, but also you bury the tank underground so that it's not exposed out there for any negative impact that could happen. For example, explosion. That's a major issue that people are concerned about. Or spills, leakage, right? Or spills. Thirdly, if you vault it, so you have distance that you buy another lot, that you bury it underground instead of above ground, that you vault it. And another requirement that we could impose is that you blast walls, explosion prevention walls, to the extent that my officers and the fire department were convinced that the guidelines were being met with all these additional safeguards that were being imposed on the investor, which implies...
Up next, fashion that is true to their roots. Find out how you can get the latest designs based on ancient traditions when we come back.
What is the Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine? The Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine is an RNA vaccine that triggers our immune system to develop antibodies against the SARS-CoV-2 virus that causes COVID-19. It helps to reduce hospitalization, severity of the disease, and death. What is the Pfizer vaccine made of, and is it safe? The Pfizer vaccine is made up of mRNA messenger ribonucleic acid, which are molecules that carry the genetic information needed to make proteins, lipid, salts, and sugar. It is safe for persons 12 years and older and does not contain the COVID-19 virus, hence cannot cause infection. Tests have shown that the vaccine is effective against current virus variants. Who should take the Pfizer vaccine? The Pfizer vaccine should be taken by persons 12 years of age and older who do not have severe allergic reaction after a previous dose of vaccine or have not had severe allergic reaction to any ingredient of this vaccine. 2 doses of the vaccine are required 3 weeks apart. If you are between the ages of 12 and 17 years, you are required to present a signed consent form before you are vaccinated. What are the side effects of the Pfizer vaccine? Some common side effects of the Pfizer vaccine are headache, fatigue, muscle pain, fever, chills, and swelling at the injection site. If side effects persist, contact your doctor as soon as possible. Does the Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine prevent infection and transmission? No, vaccination alone does not prevent infection and transmission. We are still required to continue to wear masks properly, physically distance, wash and sanitize hands often, practice proper coughing and sneezing hygiene, and avoid crowds.
Bringing people together has always been SMART's mission and passion. That is why we are proud to have built a locally independent quality network from the ground up that spans the country with over 100 sites. We continue to add more affordable mobile data packages, broadband speeds, and voice services to meet your personal and business needs. SMART has set the standard of true competition with the most competitive prices on all services offered. We invite and welcome you to join the SMART family, where the value for your dollar matters. SMART will continue bringing new technologies, more affordable prices, network expansions, and people together. SMART, bringing people together.
A FIFA grassroots football course got underway at the FFB headquarters in Belmopan today. A FIFA trainer is conducting the course with football coaches and instructors from across the country with a purpose to strengthen the foundation of the sport. 26 participants, 4 females and 24 males, participated.
It's a continuation of a FIFA project where we engage the coach educators in the region, in the different MAs, and then we follow up with a guided, almost like a supervised approach to observe the coaching educators delivering a course. This course happened to be a grassroots course.
It is a course that focuses on grassroots football, focus on boys and girls, for us to encourage them to fall in love with the game and for them to have fun. Grassroots is the foundation of football and development. And if grassroots football is not encouraged, football will suffer at our level. So the president and his executive are like always singing that we at the federation have to focus on the youth and focus also on kids playing football from early, so we can strengthen the base.
Fashion shows are not common these days, given the COVID-19 pandemic. But that did not stop the Sarstoon Tamesh Institute for Indigenous Management from bringing a group of Mopan Maya women together with a Belizean fashion designer. Today, about 2 years after they began the creative collaboration, the Shail brand clothing line was officially launched. News 5 found out more about a purposeful brand developed to provide economic empowerment to Mayan women in southern Belize.
Shail, which means through to our roots, is a new clothing line that has been developed by Maya women from San Antonio Village. Established in October of 2019 and executed by Satim through funding from the Caribbean Development Bank, It brought together modern fashion designs with a Mayan twist, the embroidery of the Maya Mupan woman from southern Belize.
It started back with Her Excellency Ms. Forlat Alam. She was a big part of this as the former executive director of SATIM. And really what we wanted to do is create economic opportunity for women, Mayan women. And through this project, we've been able to sort of revitalize some of these practices, the embroidery especially. You know, when we look around, we are seeing how little by little we're losing our culture. We're being socialized in society. And so for us, it's important to preserve our culture. And how do we go about doing that? So we went about asking the question, you know, what would make you want to wear that clothing? And it started from asking Mayan women, you know, because they are the ones who wear them usually. So now it's asking the younger generation, how would you want to wear the clothing?
Fashion designer Ranelwe Kenya from San Ignacio Cayo was brought in to work with the women. She helped with the sketching of the designs that cater to everyone and can be used in the workplace, going to a dinner, and even out for cocktails. Her knowledge of embroidery, along with the tradition of the Mupan Maya women, was infused in the garments.
They are amazing. I got to meet them last year for the first time and basically get that idea and an essence of who they really are, so we can put those ideas, their little stories that they have, and the vision that we have for the project into this one collection, what we call the Yet Still Beloved collection. When you think about the Maya clothing, you think about modesty, the femininity, but still keeping that tradition into it. So you have the cuadrado shirt with this beautiful, elaborate embroidery, which a lot of us don't know that they actually have a lot of meaning. So each of the embroidery, each of the pieces have a story. So either if it's the birds, they have some with the turtles, some with little dogs on it, and even the diamonds, they have a story. They have a meaning to each of these stuff.
So where can you get these unique pieces?
It's authentic. It's not a machine made in China kind of thing. You know, we have the women who literally sit down and they create these pieces, you know, stitching one stitch at a time. But for now, we have it on our Facebook, our Instagram. We are taking orders from there. And we've also have a large number coming in from, you know, WhatsApp, email, people just reaching out, wanting to get a piece of the clothing. So that's where it is for now, until we get our website up and running.
Dwayne Moody for News 5.
And that's the news. Tonight's broadcast is available in both text and streaming video at channel5belize.com. You can also connect with us on our Facebook page at facebook.com/News5Live. I'm Sabrina Daly. Thanks for joining us. And from all of us here at News 5, please remember to wash your hands, keep your social distance, and stay safe. Good night.